welcome. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the fatigue fighting formula. So these are just nutrition hacks for executives and business owners who are tired of walking through every day absolutely exhausted. I know how you feel. I've been there, I've done it, and that's part of why it's my passion to help people with this. So why are you here today? Today you're here to learn about the causes of fatigue, to learn how to combat fatigue with the right nutritional plan, and also maybe because you've tried eating healthy and numerous diets, supplements, working out more, possibly even caffeine, but nothing seems to help. So let's talk about this. Just want to introduce you a little bit to about myself. I've been in the fitness and nutrition industry for 6 years. I'm certified as a NASM personal trainer, corrective exercise specialist, and a nutrition coach. I have dealt with chronic inflammation and gut issues for 30 plus years. They finally showed up about 19 years ago for me to really realize that that was what was going on. And I really have learned so much over the years that it's just become my passion to help others overcome those challenges in their own lives. So part of the way it started with me, I got food poisoning back when I was in high school, which I believe started most of my gut issues. And I got food poisoning again years later when I was pregnant with my twins, and then strep when I was pregnant with my youngest. So all of these incidents, they just added to damage to my gut and consequently spread to a bacteria that got spread throughout my system. So I had a bacterial infection. And it wasn't honestly until many years later that I realized what the root cause was. But fatigue was one of the main symptoms for me. So some of the lessons that I have learned, just eating healthy, it's not enough, you guys. To get to the root issue, there's no quick and easy fix, and it does take time and hard work. And sometimes some supplements are necessary. I know a lot of people try to avoid those, but sometimes they can be very, very helpful and are necessary for your journey. Some of the things that I learned, I operated under the assumption that IBS was the problem. And I figured I just have to live with that for the rest of my life. I tried all the diets that seemed like they would have helped, like FODMAP, Whole30, AIP, a combination of all of those, which was super painful. And I tried working out more, and I tried drinking more caffeine, but honestly, just nothing seemed to help. So you are likely here if you've tried some of those same things, if you tried eating healthy and working out more, but you're still just so tired. You've tried fad diets or even diets that are supposed to be anti-inflammatory, but had no success. Doctors or over-the-counter medications have, those just don't seem to make the symptoms go away. And because you want to stop researching and try a new program only to find yourself exhausted, you want to have more energy and focus. And you want to increase the days that you have energy and decrease the days that you feel bone tired. So here's the thing, you're in the wrong place if you're looking for a quick fix, or if you're unwilling to invest in your health long-term. If you're someone who struggles with following through, or if you're someone who doesn't deal well with food restrictions, this is not for you. This is not a program for you. The truth is you're very likely going to find that there are foods that you need to restrict from your diet. And it's not an easy road, but it is worth it. And there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So today, really honestly, is just the tip of the iceberg. In the next 30-ish minutes, I'm going to try and share with you as much as I can about the causes of fatigue and how you can find freedom from it. My goal for you is to walk away with some new knowledge and something that you can begin to take action on. So let me just introduce you to one of my clients, Kevin. So some of the main things that he dealt with: fatigue and brain fog, bloating and cramping and gas, joint aches and pains. And now after a 3-month program, increased energy and focus, gut issues are virtually non-existent, and hardly any joint aches and pains. So Kevin had a background in the health food industry. So he was really not unfamiliar with eating healthy, but he was still dealing with a lot of negative symptoms and had been for about 6 to 8 years. And he just didn't know how to address it. So stress and eating out regularly because of travel had caused leaky gut, and leaky gut had allowed other health challenges to arise. but after 3 months of working together, he saw symptoms become almost non-existent. And when he went into the doctor, all of his markers, like blood work, markers in his blood work, like blood pressure and cholesterol, those were back in normal range. And he had found that he had more energy and brain fog. That brain fog had lifted, as well as improved mood, along with improvement in his other symptoms as well. So what are we going to cover today? Number one, we're going to cover common causes of fatigue, how nutrition can hurt or help, and when you may need more than just that. So what is fatigue and what causes it? So fatigue, extreme tiredness resulting from mental or physical exertion or illness. Fatigue is a feeling of constant exhaustion, burnout, or lack of energy. It can be physical, mental, or a combination of both. Fatigue can affect anyone. Most adults will experience it at some time in their life. Fatigue is a symptom and not a condition. So first, let's just talk about this here, because we're not just talking about a feeling of feeling a little bit tired, which is what most people think I'm talking about. We're talking about that feeling of your entire body feeling heavy and weak. Along with that, you feel foggy and unmotivated, and it takes everything within you to push through and get the things done that you need to. So if you have been experiencing fatigue for more than 2 weeks, it's really time for you to dig in and find the root cause so you can fix it. Sooner rather than later is better. The longer that you let that go, the worse it's going to get, and the more health challenges you're going to find are going to pop up. So some of the common causes of fatigue: lack of sleep, overexertion physically or mentally, dehydration, stress, anxiety, and depression, and physical inactivity. So if one of these are an issue for you, you could try to do this on your own, but you have likely tried everything you can think of already. That's why you're here. If this is the case, you may have a deeper root cause, and we're going to address those in just a little bit. So how nutrition can hurt or help you. The typical American diet, you guys, it's so unhealthy for us, and the negative impacts that it has: weight gain or inability to lose weight, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, digestive issues, mental health, fatigue. Fast food, packaged processed foods, sodas, high sugar drinks like energy drinks, mochas, donuts, cookies, crackers, convenience foods, all the things that we love, okay? These convenience foods, these have become commonplace and addictive. And these foods are the culprit, honestly, for weight problems, gut pain, joint pain, headaches, fatigue, so much more. They're high in calories, low in nutritional value, and repeated consumption of these can be detrimental to your health in many ways. So a change in your diet can make a tremendous impact on your health and your energy level. If you're eating like this on a regular basis and you make the switch to taking those types of foods out of your diet, many people will find that they're gonna lose weight. They're gonna have increase in energy. A lot of things are gonna change quickly for them, but it is something that you have to stick with. Okay. So an anti-inflammatory diet, this is something that can be extremely helpful when you're dealing with fatigue. Okay, so some of the positive impacts of eating an anti-inflammatory diet: weight loss, weight management, better blood sugar control, improved heart health and blood pressure, improved digestion, better mood and mental health, increased energy levels. So for many people, just removing these processed foods that we just talked about, the foods that are high in sugar and unhealthy fats, and replacing them with foods that have anti-inflammatory qualities to them, can have a huge impact on their health and energy levels. And some people, though, have found that if they have deeper issues, they may need a more restrictive diet than just a plain anti-inflammatory diet can solve the problem. Okay, so we'll dig into that a little bit more. But if we're looking at just a straight anti-inflammatory diet, these are the types of foods. This is not exhaustive, but these are the types of food that you would find on an anti-inflammatory diet. So fruits, berries, oranges, pineapple, proteins, chicken, salmon, eggs, nuts and seeds, almonds, walnuts, sunflower seeds, vegetables, leafy greens, broccoli, sweet potatoes, grains, brown rice, oats and quinoa, fats, olive oil, avocado, and nut butters. So these are the types of foods that you would find, and they are very helpful. All of these foods have anti-inflammatory qualities to them. Okay. But for people who do not, so for people who do not have an underlying issue like leaky gut or an autoimmune disorder, if you just replace the processed foods with foods like these that are high in anti-inflammatory qualities, you can really make a huge impact on your energy level because your body's actually getting what it needs to maintain healthy processes. Okay. So let me give you an example. My client, Jamie, he's an example of someone who needed more than just to eat healthy because he already ate pretty healthy when he started with me. He tried that, but he had continued to struggle with candida, skin rashes, gut pain, and fatigue. So after about a month of working together, Jamie found that his skin rashes were clearing up and his gut pain was almost non-existent. His energy level was better. And he also found that he was dealing with stress better than he had in a long time. The one thing that he struggled with, though, is he had a hard time giving up alcohol. And he found that when he did reinsert it, though, it was a trigger for him. So sometimes, whether we like it or not, there are things we find we need to remove from our diet because they are causing us a problem. So the one thing that I tell my clients is you have to decide what you want most, the comfort of the food or drink in the moment or feeling better in the long term. So when you may need more than just a slight change in your diet, okay, when you may need more than just an anti-inflammatory diet. So deeper causes of fatigue, leaky gut, chronic inflammation and chronic pain, thyroid or hormone imbalance, autoimmune disorders, diabetes. These are just some examples of deeper root causes. And when you're dealing with deeper root causes like these, you will likely need a more restrictive diet and supplements to help the body begin to heal. There are times when you have deeper issues that will also need more support from a doctor. But a restrictive diet and supplements will be very important as well and will pair well with anything that they're going to do. So let me just give you an example. Thyroid and hormone imbalances. Those cannot be fixed with nutrition alone. But that paired with the right supplements and if needed, some hormone replacement therapy, those can bring the body back into balance together. But just the supplements alone and maybe just the treatment alone may not be enough to get your body back into balance. So you need the balance of both of those things, the nutrition and the supplements. Okay. Blood work is going to be very important for most people. If you have deeper causes going on, blood work is going to be important to identify your needs. So where to start with that? What I like to start my clients with is an in-depth assessment of current health status, nutritional habits, lifestyle habits, sleep habits, stress level, and blood work to assess possible deficiencies, hormone levels, inflammatory markers, and a gut health test. And, the truth is this can be very overwhelming and you may not know where to start. And so let me explain. The first part of my program always addresses these things. And we're going to talk about that just a little bit more here soon, but just know that there's some times when you need someone to give you the guidance and the right plan. Okay. So another example for you, my client, Tim. Okay. Tim is a great example of someone who had significant improvement and overall saw great benefit with the 6-month program that he walked through. But he did end up having some deeper issues that needed help from a naturopath. So the diet and the supplements were extremely helpful for him for optimizing his body's ability to begin absorbing nutrients again, though, so that his body was able to better heal. So some of the stuff that he dealt with, chronic fatigue, gut issues, joint aches and pains, and depression. He ate pretty healthy, but he had symptoms regularly, and he just couldn't seem to identify the root cause. So after a 6-month program, he was able to see that decrease in fatigue, some gut and the gut issues. those gut issues almost became non-existent with the diet, and depression significantly decreased. And with the right plan, symptoms had significantly improved. So he did find a significant improvement with the gut issues, and root causes of fatigue ended up being a little bit deeper. But that was something that he began to work on with the naturopath after we were done. So my process, let's talk that through a little bit. So my process has 4 pillars to it. Okay. Whole health inventory. And that's what we talked about, just really taking in everything so that we know exactly what's going on. So I know where to start. We take the guesswork out with blood work and gut health test, and just looking at past health and current health and injuries and all of that good stuff. Purposeful and sustainable nutrition, health and nutrition, prescribed exercise, and accountability and check-in. So I use all 4 pillars with every client, but I customize them according to their needs, their goals, and current health status. But just to understand that my program is built around that nutrition pillar, because without that right nutrition plan, you're just not going to see the changes that you desire. So what do you do now? If today opened your eyes to some symptoms that you may be having, or if you're interested in more information, that's great time to schedule a discovery call with me. It gives us the opportunity to dig in and talk more in depth about your symptoms, how long you've been dealing with them, and to identify root causes so that I can understand whether or not I can be a help to you. Okay. So if you are looking to do that, message me. We can get you signed up for a discovery call, get that on the schedule. So that, like I said, it allows me just a chance to dig deeper and know if I can be a help. And just know it's not a sales call. This first call is really just a chance to get to know each other and for me to understand whether or not I can be a help to you. So thank you so much for listening. Thanks for taking the time to be here.